I tried dating after 50, and here is what actually happened.
Arlene tells it like it is, like it is. Arlene tells it like it is.
Hey everybody, welcome to the very first episode of Arlene Tell It Like It Is. And I'm Arlene, and today I am going to tell you like it is. Okay? This is a place for real, no filtered conversations about life after 50, relationships, family, everything in between. The good, the bad, and the show enough ridiculous. We're gonna start with a good dose of humor, and what don't make you laugh is gonna probably make you cry. Cause I'm Arlene, and I'm gonna tell you like it is. Today we're kicking off with a bang. I tried dating after 50, and here is what actually happened. So y'all just really better hold on. Yes, I went there. I put myself out there. I got on the dating app. Woo-hoo-wee. I swiped to the left and I swiped to the right. And I think I even tried to swipe down on some of them. But you know what? You only got left and right. I chatted with a lot of people. Some was interesting. Some was just point blank creepy and crazy. Then I finally decided I would meet with some people, have a couple of coffee, and get to know a person, and listen to what they have to say. Some of it was helpful, but most of it was just point blank hilarious, okay? This new dating, this new app and stuff, what happened to just going into the supermarket on the vegetable aisle and meeting somebody? You understand what I'm saying? Everybody want to be healthy. What happened to being back there at the meat counter and you're looking at a nice piece of steak, or even a chicken, and you start talking? See, all this stuff is just gone. So now we just got hope and pray that we actually find somebody that can hold our attention, make us laugh, and enjoy growing older with them. So grab yourself a cup of coffee or some wine, get comfortable, and let's talk about dating after 50. The good, the bad, and the what the hell was that? Because I know we all have walked away and said, what the hell was that? Okay, well, let me start by being honest with you. Dating after 50 is nothing like those 30s or those 40s. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Them good old 30s, honey, when you stuff, you can walk, you stuff, you strut. You had a little twist. You had a little something going on. Women, men, you weren't hunched over and stuff like that. You walked tall and proud like an old stallion. Yeah, I remember them days because I remember them men's looking good like that. So, but anyway, y'all know, like I said, this is all in. I'm going to tell it like it is, okay? The rules have changed, everybody. The body has changed. And the baggage, honey, we all are carrying a lot of extra baggage these days. So don't act like you don't have some baggage. Just don't bring it on the first date. Just don't bring it on the second date. Say some of that stuff about a month out. You know what I'm saying? Hook, line, and sinker them. Okay. But here's the part no one wants to admit. It can be surprisingly fun. Starting to date again, it is interesting. It is exciting. It's new. It's new. The rules done change. I don't know who changed these rules. Did these young millennials or these I don't even know, XYZ generation? But somebody changed the whole rules. And us, we are just trying to catch up with some of these new rules that has been put out there. So, but one thing I do know, without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to have a sense of humor. You're going to have a sense of humor if you plan on surviving. Let me tell you about my very first date disaster. Yeah. After I decided to really try to get back out of here, his name was Richard. Let me tell y'all, Richard was good, tall, handsome. Looked like he should have been on Sports Illustrated. Okay. He said he loved traveling, going on long walks on the beach. Okay, I like to go on a long walk on the beach, but I'm in Texas, so I think we got Galveston and Corpus Christi, something like that. And he liked late night romance. Okay. And he got me really intrigued. I'm really hyped. After talking to him for a minute here, okay? You know what I'm saying? You don't just get on the phone. Get on the internet, go back and forth, do some texting and stuff, and go meet him the next day. Don't do that. Get to know the person. Just get to know enough to feel halfway comfortable when you go to meet somebody. So we met for coffee. Within 10 minutes, y'all, he tells me he is financially comfortable. I'm thinking, out of all the times I've had this talk with old Richard, he ain't never said nothing about being financially comfortable. So I'm curious now. What does financially comfortable mean? Well, it turned out what he really was trying to let me know is that he lived with his mother. Richard is 58 years old. See, he never said that on the phone. Never said that on the text. But he tells me this casually as we're eating dinner. It don't spoil my appetite, honey. I just keep on eating. And I just kind of sit there and I just listen. Then he spent another 20 minutes, y'all, complaining about women. How we are too independent today. I'm sitting there thinking as I'm eating my dinner, fool, you don't understand. I'm one of them women that you sitting up here talking about. I do consider myself to be an independent woman. And what are you complaining about? You ought to be happy. You got somebody that you don't have to be at their beck and need and call. But you know what? Sometimes you just can't satisfy a person. Some people just cannot be satisfied. Now, here is the kicker. He asked me within 30 minutes of this date, okay, if I would cook for him on our second date because his mother is tired of cooking. I had to think to myself, you was lucky I barely came and met you at this little coffee shop. And you think for 1 second I'm finna go meet your mama, cook you some food because your mama said that she's tired of cooking for you. Man, you done lost your mind. But I sat there. He said, well, can you cook? Y'all, do I look like I can cook? Hell, I go in the kitchen and cook my ass off. I told him, I say, sometimes. He said, what you mean by sometimes? It sometimes depends on how I feel. I may not feel like cooking. Especially do I feel like cooking you a date on the second date. You already done told me you move back home with your mama because you don't want to pay your bills. You don't like paying rent. You don't like buying your own food. And you ask me to cook you a dinner? Yeah. I had to think for a second how and what and how seriously to respond to this ridiculousness. I said, man, there's too many KFCs out there. There's too many McDonald's out there and too many Cheddars. So I'm going to have to decline on cooking you a dinner on our next date. Y'all ain't going to be no next date. Because for one, you already done told me you're cheap. And you don't want to spend no kind of money. You ain't that keen on going out and eating. You want to complain about everything. So no, when you see mess like this, y'all just get up and run. I had to look at this man again. I just could not believe this good-looking man sitting across from me, 58 years old, live with his mother, and don't want to help do anything. No, I'm not going to cook him nothing to eat. Be my luck, he actually likes it. And then guess what happens? I am stuck with somebody who does not deserve me. And this is the truth. So what I did, I finally got up. I told him, I said, man, I got to go. I'm done. He said, where you going? I said, I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to go home. And I said, and by the way, I think I'm going to probably go to Long John Silver's or somewhere and get me a nice dinner. Because this cup of coffee, this right here was a little bit too much for me. So, and I left. And I laughed, y'all. Let me tell y'all, I laughed. I had to laugh my ass all the way home because I could not believe it. And I was thinking to myself, I know goodness well, this was not my introduction back into the dating world. It is impossible for this to be what I have to be looking forward to. Let me save you some time and pain. Here are some of the biggest red flags I spotted first. If he leads with my ex-wife, don't understand. Honey, I promise you can call any ex-wife and she's going to tell you a whole different story if you had the opportunity to tell it. And second, if his profile picture is from 15 years ago and you're looking and 40 pounds ago, hey, I'm a big woman. I don't knock nobody with a little meat on them, okay? Because wintertime come, honey, and you be wanting something to keep you warm in the wintertime. You know, I'm just keeping it real. But if you walk into a place and you get ready to meet somebody you've been talking to and you ain't really FaceTime them. See, let me tell y'all something about this FaceTime stuff. You got to FaceTime. Lord, let me tell y'all, stop not wanting to be FaceTime. You need to FaceTime because your butt can be being catfish. Like I say, the profile picture was 15 years ago and it was about 40 to 50 pounds lighter. If you run into this, you need to just get up and leave. You get up and leave. Because from this point on, they're saying he's going to be doing, you're not going to be able to trust him at all. Let me say this again. If his profile picture is from 15 years ago and 40 to 50 pounds ago, run, baby, run like you're a track star. Now here's another one that you need to be looking for. These are red flags. If he talking about his freedom too much, how much he loves being free, how much he loves to go this, go do this, go do that. He's all being free and this and that. Let me tell y'all something. Stop being stupid because he ain't thinking about nothing serious. He is looking for a booty call, and it's up to y'all if y'all want to do it. But better make sure y'all both understand what's going on. Because if you talk about being free a little bit too much, that means he's not trying to be free. That means he has other stuff on his mind. He want to hit it and quit it. Hit it and quit it. Y'all hear me? But if that's what you got on your mind and that's what you're looking for, you ain't looking for nothing serious, then that's the person you need to be looking for. The one that's always talking about his freedom. Now, my absolute favorite was a man who told me he was spiritual but not religious. Yeah. I want y'all to think about that. Spiritual but not religious. Yeah. And I'm trying to think, what does that mean? Only thing I can come up with is you believe in God, but you do not go to church. I can't see how those two go, how they don't, I don't know. You know, hey, and anybody out there watching, I would like for y'all to put in the comments, what is spiritual but not religious? Please let me know, somebody. Because I would say they both go hand in hand. Okay, now, and then on top of that, he spent the rest of the date trying to convince me about his company. He wanted me to invest in his company. I'm so curious. I asked the stupidest ass question possible. Well, what is your company? And what does it do? And what are the benefits for me in this company? Y'all remember, this is a date. This is a first date. And he told me he was in crypto. I say, didn't crypto fail a couple of years ago? He looked at me. He got so damn mad at me. He got so mad at me. Why? Because I knew a little bit of something about something. And then he said, well, I have another business. I say, well, what is that? He said, well, I'm trying to get a business started. Get a business like what? What is the foundation of your business? Y'all, the man never told me what the business was, but he said he kept trying to start a business. So y'all know what? This wasn't a date. This was a business meeting. This was a business meeting. If somebody started talking about trying to get you to invest in something, get your butt up and leave, because this ain't nothing coming from this but a scam, a Ponzi scheme, some kind of scheme. He don't know you good enough to ask you to do that. And so that's what I'm saying. Online dating has changed. Online dating is not about just meeting a person and trying to hook up with them and build some kind of relationship. No, there is something in it for everybody. And for this guy right here, he thought he had him a fool, but he just didn't know. He was talking to Arlene. And I had to look at him, and I told him, I said, you know what? I wish you good on your endeavors, but I have to go. He said, so what about the business adventure? I said, man, kiss my ass. I'm gone. Y'all excuse my language. You're a joke. You're a joke. And man, let me tell y'all something. It's not just men. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not a man hater or nothing like that. I love men. And the same thing goes for a man. If you're watching this and you go meet a woman and she looking like, ooh, we the best thing that ever came off a grill, and she started talking to you about money and finances and stuff, y'all better get up and head for the hills. Because she's not interested in finding a date. She's interested in looking for somebody to take care of her. Now, if you got bukus and shit piles of money sitting around and you ain't got nothing else better to do with it, yeah, hang around. Ain't nothing wrong with a piece of good-looking eye candy on the side, on your arm, make you feel good, make you feel young. But you better understand, they come with a healthy-ass price tag. Okay. Now, let's talk about some funny dates I went on. This stuff is so funny, y'all. I can't even make this stuff up. I seriously cannot make it up. Because when you start back to dating, you don't just, you might go out on a date with one person and don't let it detour you. If it's a crazy date, don't let it stop you from going out and meeting somebody else. Because I promise you, the next person is not going to be just like that first person. Everybody is so different. It's so many different personalities out there. You learn as you go. You say the first one, this right here was just a mess. Then you say, should I not do this again? Yeah, do it. Why stop? Do it again. Go on another date. See what this is going to be about. The next guy may be so slow till you feel like, Lord have mercy. This man here is driving me crazy. He won't talk fast. You're like, hey, baby, how you doing? Talking all slow, thinking he talking sexy. And all that's doing is just getting on your nerves. Said to yourself, I can't wait to get out of this. But you're being polite. You're being polite, okay? But let me tell you about this dinner date. I'm going to talk about some of these dates I went on. Okay. Talked to this guy on the phone. We talked for a minute. And finally, I decided to meet him after a couple of months at this really nice bougie restaurant, y'all. I'm not even going to tell you. It's in Dallas, Texas. I'll tell you that. And he shows up in flip-flops and cargo shorts. Now, y'all didn't hear me. Y'all saying, did she say he showed up in flip-flops and cargo shorts? Yeah, that's what I said. Nice restaurant. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I was dressed to the nines. Woo, I thought I was looking good, honey. Woo, had my good dress on, had my hair all made up, makeup popping. Cause I thought this was fit to be it. Oh, you gotta put your first impression first. And say, what? The first 20 seconds is your first impression. You only got that first 20 seconds to make that impression. And after that, everything else goes down the hill. So if you ain't made the good impression, just go on, drink yourself a lot of wine and just have yourself a good time. But don't be trying to get too drunk where your ass can't drive home, get a DWI. You understand what I'm saying? But okay, let's talk about Mr. Flip-Flops. In January, y'all, I forgot to tell you, this was cold. Cold as hell outside. This fool shows up in flip-flops in January. And I politely go, hey, don't this place have a dress code? He had the nerve to tell me I'm retired. I don't do dress codes no more. I said, what you mean you don't do dress codes no more? It's I don't do dress codes no more. I'm thinking to myself, well, what do you do? Is this the best? Is this the best you're gonna do? Y'all, let me tell y'all. I was thinking to myself, at this point, I can put a fork in this because this romance is dead. I like to go places. I like to go hang out, dress up, go to nice restaurants, just get out and have a good time. And I don't want nobody to make me feel like, what are the words I'm looking for? Make me feel like, because let me tell y'all something. If this person is very casual and you're not a person who is a very casual person and going into the restaurants and doing different things, it's not going to work. Because at some point you're going to want them to dress up and they're not going to dress up and you're going to have a problem. So just keep it as a friend if you want to, but that's cool. Just know, don't expect anything out of this person because you ain't going to get anything out of this person other than what you met this day in this really nice ass restaurant. Flip-flops and cargo pants. Then I met another man. His name was Steve. All during the date, everybody. Listen, ladies. Listen. Me and him, we were the same exact age. Steve kept calling me young lady. Young lady. I thought it was cute. I enjoyed it. But hey, me and you both are the same exact age. So I kept listening to him, trying to understand. Well, some people are raised differently. So young lady might have been his way of saying, I don't know, something really sweet to me. I don't know. But by the end of the evening, he was telling me about his medications. He was telling me that his back hurts in the morning, it hurts in the evening, and I'd probably have to look at my hands and told me, you look like you got some good strong hands. Y'all, my hands is decent hands. Told me I could help break his back and crack his back and stuff in the morning before he get up and get out of bed. I'm thinking to myself, man, I got my own shitting ass problems before I get up out the bed in the morning. You think I'm finna sit here and waste 25, 30 minutes trying to get you ready to get out the bed? I don't think so. Arlene is not finna do that mess. Then he started telling me all about his issues, his his bowel problems and all the X-Lax and Linzess and stuff that he got to take. Do y'all think that was something I wanted to hear on the first date? But hey, I give this man props because he felt the need to tell me that he has a problem with his bowels and stuff. He's laying it all out there on the line. His bowels, then he gonna tell me about his high blood pressure medicine. I say, I'm y'all know at this point, I'm over here drinking plenty drinks. I'm like, okay, keep on going. Man just kept going, kept talking. I say, shit, this man got more damn problems than anybody I've ever met. This man got crazy problems. Y'all, he wasn't looking for, let's get this straight. He was not looking for a date. He was looking for somebody to take care of him. This man needed a nurse. Shit, he needed a really good nurse. You could be a LVN, you could be a RN. It does not matter. This man needed a nurse, but I know for a fact I wasn't finna be worried with him trying to take his high blood pressure medicine. Hell, I can't keep up with my own high blood pressure medicine. And did I take it today or did I take it tomorrow? I'm not finna worry about somebody else's health like that. Nope. The man needed a nurse. Now, if I'd known a good nurse that was pretty desperate for a man, I'd have turned her on to him. But I didn't. So I told him, I said, well, I guess me and you gonna have to just stay friends because I got health issues. I got serious health issues. And I said, you got some serious health issues. And between the both of us, we ain't gonna make it a good 3 or 4 years together. So, nope, I don't need you to help bring me on down, and I'm not gonna help bring you on down. So I just let it go. I said, man, nice meeting you. Enjoyed the dinner. Because he paid for it, y'all. Good dinner. Paid for it. But I went on about my business after that. Yeah. Okay, everybody. I know y'all ready for this date right here. So, I'm going to tell you about the date that I think was the date of all dates. I had been talking to this guy named Lenny. Very nice guy. Had his own nice home, nice car, everything. You know, these according to the pictures he showed me, okay? You don't never know till you go there. And I'm not at that point to where I wanted to go to someone's house. But I did want to meet him. And he was really pushing the issue. So I said, okay, let me just slow it down for a minute. Just go out. Let's go have a nice dinner. Okay. I was very impressed. We went to a very nice restaurant. Well, I'm sitting over there. I got there before he did. Because, you know, I don't like surprises. So I want to be halfway prepared for whatever might come my way. So I know exactly how to respond in a moment's notice. Y'all, he looked good, had a nice suit on. But he had one thing with him. He had a cage. A cage. An animal carrying cage with him. I cannot make this up. My inquiry mind wanted to know what was in the cage. He set the cage on the table. I'm still waiting to figure out what is in this cage. And why is it in the restaurant? I don't know what he gonna pull out of it, but hell, I'm sure waiting to see what happened. Nothing happened. Listen to me, y'all hear me? Nothing happened. I heard a sound. The sound was meow. Yeah, you heard me right. Me. Okay, y'all, before I talk about this cat, I'm gonna back this thing up for a second here. Because I actually me and this guy had this conversation. And he asked me, did I like animals? I said, yes. I have a puppy. I love dogs. I have a little small puppy. And he said, well, great, I have a cat. I said, well, okay. I'm like, well, we got this in common. We both love animals. So I'm like, okay, this is so good. This is going in the right direction. At least I don't have to worry about somebody like, I hate animals. Y'all, let's get back to this cat. So the cat is purring. I said, you brought your cat to dinner. Y'all know how that sounds if you brought your cat to dinner. But this man actually brought a physical cat, 4 legs, to dinner. I say, why did you bring your cat to dinner? Just, hey, it's a normal question. I would, I done been in some situations, but this was the first. Nice restaurant, you got a cat sitting here on the damn table. Set the damn cat on the table. Now, he didn't set the cage on the floor, he set it on the table. I was like, what is this? He tells me it is his emotional support animal. I don't mean to laugh, y'all, because I know some people actually have emotional support animals. I said, well, I'm thinking if it was a golden retriever, it'd be a different story. Or, maybe something, something has a little thing on the, the little red thing on it, say emotional support. Okay, I'm down with that. But you got a big old fat ass cat weighing about 20 pounds overweight in this cage, and you had nerve to tell me this is your emotional support animal. I'm thinking to myself, well, shit. I could have brought my dog and put my dog on the leash and walked his little ass in here and called him my emotional support animal. I got in my feelings a little bit because I could have brought my baby to dinner. But the point is, you can talk to a person all day long. You're not gonna know much about that person until you really see them face to face. And make no mistake, you ain't gonna really know who the person is the first couple of times. First, you gotta get past the representative, then to find out who the real person is. So it's gonna take a minute for this stuff to happen. But dating is so funny. I mean, you got to have a sense of humor. You have to have a sense of humor. That's why I say you got to have a sense of humor when you are trying to navigate life, go between what you used to know to what's going on now. It's just change. And I would like to add this to the list. Some nights I had more disasters. And then other nights I had some really good dates. I compared the two. And I said, I'm Arlene. I'm a pretty smart woman. I can spot BS a mile away. You don't have to rush at this age. You don't have to be in no rush to meet somebody. Why? Because you already know who you are. You know who you are. And don't shrink yourself to fit someone else's life. Don't do that. If you have for me, I have a larger than life personality. I'm always smiling. I love people. I have a big personality. And I don't want nobody to come and do this to me. Try to shrink me, put me in a box. This is not me. I'm not going to be happy. So I'm telling you, don't let nobody take away your personality, who you are. If you like ruby red lipstick every day on your lips, then hell, wear your ruby red lipstick. You understand what I'm saying? If you like to wear your makeup, and you know you look pretty with your makeup and your powder and stuff on your face, then do this. Put this stuff on. This is who you are. If you like to walk around every day in yoga shorts and yoga pants, know it goodness well you ain't going to no gym. But you like the way it look on your body and it feels comfortable. Don't let nobody tell you how to dress, what to do, what to take away. Don't do that. Be you. They saw something in you when they first met you that made them want to stop and swipe to the left or swipe to the right. Don't change. Do not change. Do not change. You can compromise. You can agree to disagree on some things, but do not change who you are. Do not lose your self-identity, because it is easy to do. It really is. If he or she can't laugh and share a cup of coffee with you, then it's not going to work. If every time you have a conversation with someone and they argue and they're upset, they mad, you don't have a clue what's going on, it's not going to work. The right person is going to make you feel peaceful, make you happy. You're going to feel it in your soul. They ain't going to make you feel exhausted. And when I say exhausted, let me tell you what I mean when I say exhausted. You ever went somewhere, met somebody, hung out with somebody, and you were so tired? By the time you got home, you didn't have no energy. You was exhausted. You weren't exhausted because you had such a good time. You were just exhausted because of the way things went, because of the conversations that you had. It wasn't nothing that was stimulating. It was constantly something that was just a brain down. If you meet somebody like that pulls all of your energy from you, that's not the person for you. You need somebody to lift you up and make you feel good. And somebody you can lift up as well. Because this is not just a one-way street. It's for both of y'all. It is okay if dating isn't right for you at this point in your life. Some of the best time I've had lately has been with good friends, people I've known for years. My family. Family is funny, y'all. You ever get lonely, call a family member. Call the one that likes to gossip. Because you won't be lonely, because they're going to tell you everything about everybody's business in the family. I got 5 of in my family. And all I got to do is just call one when I am feeling lonely. When I get off the phone with them, I'm exhausted. But in a good way. You understand what I'm saying? And I said, woo, thank God that's not none of me. Or, oh, wow, I hate that happen. You know, but friends, family, and even being by yourself. Let's talk about this. There's nothing wrong with being by yourself. You can be a man who likes to be by himself. Some people like being by themselves. Some people are loners. I'm not one. But it's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to do stuff by yourself. It's okay to go on a trip by yourself. Just let somebody in your family know where you're going. So, just in case some bullshit go down, they know exactly where they need to start looking for your butt at. Okay? Because one, you are a senior. You probably got some kids out here. You probably got some grandkids out here. And if they are like anything like my family, they want to know. Okay? So here's my closing remarks. Whew. Dating after 50 is wild and unpredictable. It's sometimes disappointing, but it can also be wonderful. Yeah. It can be wonderful. If you keep your standards high and your sense of humor even higher, because you're going to have both. Know who you are, know what you like, know what you don't like. I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, have you tried dating after 50 or 60? And what is your funniest story? Disaster. Because you got one. Oh, everybody got a disaster story. Or what red flag from the beginning did you spot immediately? What red flag? What red flag did you see from the minute that first date started? Remember, for me, one of the red flags was the guy was picture was 15 years younger, and he was about 50 pounds lighter. That was a red flag because I didn't even recognize the dude. He didn't look nothing like the profile picture. So that was a red flag. So that's what I want to hear. I want to hear in these comments, what was your first date red flag incident? I read every comment. And if I feel like your story needs to be shared, the good, bad, and the ridiculous, I want you to send me an email. Send me an email. Tell me about your story, what happened. And I would bring you on my show as a guest. And I would let you tell your story in a future episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the subscribe and notification bell. Share it with someone who needs a good laugh about this crazy stage in our life. And I do mean crazy stage in our life. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I will see you in the next episode. Until then, keep it real, keep laughing, and I'll keep telling like it is.